Hello, this is Shan Chandrasekhar welcoming you to another delightful part of the programming. We are extremely honored to have an extraordinarily distinguished guest in the program here with us today. He needs no introduction at all. He's an outstanding scientist of international stature, a gentleman who has received the biggest of awards, including the Bharat Ratna Award. Personification of humility, I should say, none other than Dr. Abdul Kalam, the former President of India. Sir, it's an honor to have you in the show with us today.
Greetings to you.
Tell me about your trip, sir. This is the first time, I guess, you've come to Canada.
Yeah, it is my first visit. First impression I get, this nation is full of enthusiasm, and they have a great resources in all respects. And last 2 days, I met thousands of Indo-Canadians and different field, and I was very happy to see the Indo-Canadians are committing themselves to make this country, Canada, the great country. They are working for this country. I am very happy about it.
That's wonderful. Sir, you're one of the greatest inspiration for any member, any NRI living in any part of the world. Now, your Vision 2020 was an incredible vision. Tell me about the key result areas of your own vision, how much of this has been accomplished, and what is the prognosis for the future?
When we wrote the vision document in 1990s, we visualized the growth. At that time, GDP was about 6% GDP growth. And we said GDP growth should reach 10% and maintain for 10 years. Then definitely 22% people who are below poverty line can be lifted up. That's the statement we made. And also we said to do that 10% GDP growth, what are the systems we should put in position? We have identified 5 areas. Fortunately, now the GDP oscillating between 8.5% to 9% GDP growth is a good sign. So 11th plan period, it may go to 10%. If we maintain 10%, definitely we'll be very close to reaching the India as a developed nation before 2020. The 5 areas what you identified are to push the GDP up, education and healthcare system, women education highest priority, so that you can have a manageable population. In agriculture, food processing are the highest push we have to give. Third is information communication technology to connect our 600,000 villages, telemedicine, teleeducation, e-government. Then infrastructure development. There we have pushed that what is called PURA, providing urban amenities rural area. And we said 7,000 PURA should come in the country so that we can bridge villages and urban area together. And infrastructure, we have given the highest priority, like when all the water sources should have a connectivity. First, we have to start with the state level. Rivers and other water sources we connect so that we can manage the drought as well as floods. Fifth area, self-reliance in critical technology. We have to push all the 5. Fortunately, some of them progressing.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
Sir, you just mentioned about the water and sharing of the water between state areas. Unfortunately, there's been a little bit of dissension between the different provinces. There's become, regional politics has taken a little bit of an overshadowing the real goal of the country itself. What are your comments for that, sir? And how soon do you think that those kind of issues could be resolved?
See, I believe the 24% of water availability in the world is in Canada.
That's correct.
Why not you and me carry that?
That's absolutely right.
But that's a lighter side of it. But the issue is rivers. It has to become a national property. National property. That is the starting point. Networking of the rivers. But fortunately, we have got one thing every state can do. Nobody will object to that. Only center has to assist the state. That is linking the water sources. For example, you take Tamil Nadu. There is every alternate year or every year you get to Matur Dam flooded twice or three times. All the water happily goes to sea. But and there is a Kaveri flooded, the water can go to Tambrabarani. Right. It can go to Vaigai. Always there is a water. It can store a lot of water. It can go to Palar. It can go to even the Red Lake area. Right. Wherever water sources connectivity. For example, here Andrew Lake. There they have connected 4 big lakes here. Okay, they have connected so that the water resources anytime to everybody it is available.
That's fantastic. Sir, you've specialized in the field of nanotechnology and you're a great advocate of that as well. Tell us about the recent developments in terms of India not only embracing it, but how significant is that for on the global basis?
Nanotechnology is a coming field. It may replace microelectronics shortly, and nanocomputers will come, and nanomaterial will come, and nanostructures will come. All possibilities are there. Recently, I have seen 2 development in India. One in nanofilter, water filter, what using the nanomaterial. The brackish water can be converted into the potable water. Oh. The nano filter has come out of the Banaras Hindu University. It has gone to the industry for production. The another is a typhoid kit. Normally nano typhoid kit. Normal typhoid kit takes time to detect whether typhoid or any other fever. Normally few hours it will take, sometimes few days. These few minutes they will detect using nano typhoid kit. Like that, the number of development the country also has come. Some funding has started for research and development of nano area. And I visualize in few years time the convergence of 3 technology: nanotechnology, biotechnology, information technology, so that it will make a big impact in the electronics area as well as healthcare area.
Fantastic.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Sir, you've done a great thing that was an eye-opener for us in this field, that what you did in India was so significant on an international basis. You were the first person who was the project director of launching India's first satellite vehicle. And ever since then, with the invention of digital compression and fiber optics and satellite communications, the whole communication industry has been revolutionized. India is now taking leadership in that field on a worldwide basis. The cell phone technology is incredible in India. Tell me about your vision at that time.
The founder of Indian Space Research Organization, Professor Vikram Sarabhai, in 1970 he gave a vision. Wow. The vision is a one-page vision. He said, India should build a satellite launch vehicle to put the communication satellite in the orbit to connect all the villages of our people by education, by healthcare. Then remote sensing satellites we should make and launch to earth resources, to find out the earth resources, flood condition, forecasting. And meteorological satellites we should build and launch so that the cyclone prediction can take place, day-to-day weather condition, all these things he planned. The first country in the world that space science, space technology has been utilized for societal application. Oh, wow. 1970 itself, he said. Today it is recognized. I have addressed many space conference throughout the world last 1 year. Everywhere it's recognized. India is the first country who use space technology for societal applications.
Fantastic. Having said that, do you think that the geosynchronized orbital slot positions allocated on a worldwide basis by countries of origin, do you think that's appropriate, or a country like India, which has a population of over 1 billion people, should have access to more geosynchronized orbital slots?
See, what happened, some of the developed world, they had their communication satellites, very important slots they have occupied, okay? And they have left us some slots. So we are not the beginners, okay? We are a bit late in that. So it is fully occupied now. It's a very, the geosynchronous orbit, the slot is very busiest slot. But I believe I have proposed to the world, that the space world, that we must have what is called a space system, a spacecraft system, that as soon as some life period is over, a particular particular spacecrafts in that. This is called service spacecraft. It's a geosynchronous service spacecraft. It should be an international effort spacecraft. It will go remove whatever the life is over for the spacecrafts, and that slot you made it clear, clear empty, so that another country can launch it. Good slots. The good slot, there's a competition. I have put this proposal.
Oh, that's wonderful. Sir, when you became the President of India, having come from a pure science background, you were an extraordinary scientist of international stature already by that time. When you became the President of India, what was the first challenge that faced you in terms of dealing with politics?
First challenge it to, for example, in the Constitution, because my job is to protect the President has to protect the Constitution. So I really, for one page to other page, it took me for 3 to 4 months to study that. That I can say that's the first thing, because you have to prepare. That's your mission. President's mission is to protect the constitutional aspects of the nation.
There are youth in this country now who look at you, you're on a pedestal, they admire you, you're a great role model. What would you advise the vast youth here in this country who are of South Asian origin, who are watching this program from Halifax to Vancouver, across Canada, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, and from New York to Los Angeles? What would you advise them?
Well, youth, ignited mind of the youth is the most powerful resource on the earth, above the earth, under the earth. So, what important suggestion I give to all the youth power of the world is have confidence that you can do it. If individual citizen, young people has got the confidence, then individual can lead to the national confidence, and then nation will win. National.
It's wonderful. Sir, it's been an absolute honor having you in the program with us. May God bless you, and we would love you to come back and visit us more often.
Okay, wish you all the best.
It's an honor to see you, sir.
Please click on the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can be updated with all our content.